колеги.
Dear colleagues, this is my and Kolega Zajkovsky's historic legitimacy of the autocephalous status of Macedonian Orthodox Church. Archiepiscopi is the ancestor descendant of the ancient Ohrid Arsiosis. We have tried until 1967 when 1958 when Ohrid Archiepiscopi is renovated, and then 1968 it's pronounced as autocephalous. The spread of Christianity in the territory of Macedonia started in the middle of the first century. Apostle Paul was the first Christian missionary who visited Macedonia. Thanks to his missionary, Christian municipalities were formed in Philip, Thessaloniki, and Ber, where he visited. Except for Philippi, Solon, and Ber, Christianity spread very fast through Macedonia. For a short time, Macedonia became center of Christianity, this part of the Balkan. After recognition of Christianity as an equal religion in the Roman Empire in 313, all necessary conditions for development of church were created. Macedonian episcopes participated almost everywhere until the change of the church circumstances in Macedonia at the end of 6th century. More often, Slavic attacks influenced the church organization also. In the middle of the 7th century, Slavs totally Slovanized territory of Macedonia. The start of their Christianization started since the first permanent.
Станува збор за подолготраен процес, условен од различните културни и политички прилики во Византија помеѓу 7-миот и почетокот на 10-тиот век. Во 969 година на историската сцена се појавиле четворица комитополи: Давид, Мојсей, Арон и Самуил. Тие кренале во стание создавајќи самостојна државна творба. Како резултат на историските околности, во 987 година Самуил станал единствен суверен владетел, потука современата историографија оваа државна творба ја нарекува Самуилова држава или Самуилово царство. Политичката самостојност неминовно подразбирала и формирање на самостојна црковна институција. Поради оскудноста на изворниот материјал, процесот на создавање на нова самостојна црковна организација на територијата на државата не може прецизно да се реконструира. Она што со поголема веродостојност се предпоставува е дека по детронирањето на бугарскиот цар Борис II во 971 година, Византија на идентичен начин постапила и со бугарскиот, односно до ростовскиот патриарх. Наспроти епископиите во источниот дел на Бугарија, кои биле анектирани од страна на Константинополската патриаршија, оние на териториите под контрола на комитополитите ја задржале својата самостојност. Во прилог на тезата за неподчинување на епископиите во Самуиловата држава, одат податоците за селидбата на сина.
With the second government of Emperor Vasily II in there, after the rule of the Bulgarian Tsar Peter, the Bulgarian moved, one in Triatia, another in Moglen in Thessaloniki, and then we found today's archiepiscop in Ohrid. As we noticed, the Yarkare name, and it was very possible that was Damian. Also in Gramota, it's not the name of having in mind, we can be sure that it was German called Gabriel, who then left Prespa. After the death of Damian, for new church head was chosen German called Gabriel, who then resided in Voden and then in Meglen, and then in Prespa. He is the first archiepiscop of the Prespa, that is Ohrid Archiepiscopi, according to the register of Dikash. The source material doesn't allow precise date of the church main office. After the occupation of Larissa, 1985-86, Samuel took his remainings of St. Achil and moved them the Ohrid Patriarch in the time of Tsar Samuel and his descendants had three chiefs, German called Gavril, and Philip and Jovan. The Ohrid Church in the time of before trying to answer this question, we need to witness the sources of this. So almost all sources of the Byzantine provenience, the chief of the Ohrid, or that is Prespa Church, are marked as archiepiscopic rank. In this context, the followers of the territory that the church in the time of the Samuel state had the status of archiepiscopi most often call upon the data of the three gramots of Vasily II, where they speak of archbishopry. Namely, not only the ones mentioned, but all other Byzantine sources of the whole area of the rank around the range of Ohrid, that is Prespa Church, see through the prism of Constantinople Patriarchy, which has never legitimately recognized the Tsar Samuel nor its crown. Consequently, Byzantine didn't recognize neither the status of the church in Samuel state. Hence, the data contained in Byzantine sources referring to the rank of the Ohrid, that is Prespa Church, because of their political engagement, are pretty unauthentic and insecure. Solely of the above mentioned, the rule of Mikhail Devolsky is an exception, who in the text of Skilica twice, the titular archiepiscop changes into archierei, that is, which means prvosveštenik. We think that Mikhail Devolsky, with this correction of the titles of the heads of the Ohrid Church, tried to be as neutral as much in name of historical truth. Namely, the term archierei at the same time can be called archiepiscop or patriarch. In that way, Deval episcope made compromise, avoiding directly speaking about the rank of the church in the Samuel state. After the liquidation of the Samuel state and the fall of the Byzantine rule in 1018, the Ohrid Patriarchy, which was not abolished as institution, solely the rank of the archiepiscopi was removed, keeping the autocephalous church status. In order to witness the three charters of the Emperor Vasily II, referring to the status and diocese of the Ohrid archiepiscopi. At the same time, the Byzantine emperor left Ohrid Patriarch Jovan to rule the newly ordered Ohrid archiepiscopi, removing him, changing him in the rank of archiepiscop. After the death of the archiepiscop John, around 1037, at his place, Lav was appointed, who was a Rome of non-Slavic origin. With him, in 1204, there are great political changes with the destruction of the Byzantine Empire by the Crusades. Still, in these historic whirlwinds, Ohrid archiepiscopi continued to exist as autocephalous church in the time of short-term Bulgarian rule in Macedonia, as well as the rule of this independent feudal Stres. The Ohrid archiepiscopi kept its autocephalous. After the death of Stres, Macedonia went over under the rule of Epir. The Ohrid archiepiscopi kept the status of independent church. The Ohrid archiepiscopi, its autocephalous status kept after the arrival of the Ottoman Empire in Macedonia. In 1767, with Irade by the Sultan Mustafa III, Ohrid Archiepiscopacy is uncanonically abolished and Macedonian eparchies are put under the jurisdiction of the Constantinople Patriarchy. In the second part of the 19th century, the Church national propaganda succeeded in influencing the national development of Macedonia in the Balkan after the Balkan Wars and the First World War, that is, after the sanctioning of the division of Macedonia. Neighboring Orthodox Church established jurisdiction over Macedonian eparchs in accordance with the new state borders. The Vardar part of Macedonia with Thomas was given to the Constantinople Patriarchy, and under the Serb Orthodox Church, which was determining according to the Serb Orthodox Church. With the decisions brought at the first sitting of Asnom, at the same time deciding the Macedonian state legal issue, great efforts were made in order to solve the Macedonian church question. Step towards this in terms of solution of the Macedonian church question was the formation of the initiation board for organizing church life in Macedonia.
This board was formed in October 1944 on the free territory of the village Gornjo Vranovci Veleško. Immediately after the liberation, the board started immediately talking about organizing an event in which they would officialize the request for organizing an independent autonomous church, that is the renewal of the Ohrid Archbishopric, since now Macedonian had its own state. 4th of March 1945, at the newspaper, this is the following reads: our church will be constituted as an independent church equal to the regional, the Serbian, the Bulgarian and other churches. Our church has a historic right to that. The famous Ohrid Archbishopric will be renewed and we will be given the opportunity to renew our freedom, traditions, end of quote. That is how the first church gathering March 1945 started, and after the opening speech, the theologue Levko Avtov provided an account of the heritage of the Autocephalous Church, talking about the multi-century autocephalous status of the St. Clement Ohridski's church. The canon right of the Macedonian people to have its own autocephalous church is based on the 17th rule of the Fourth Order. If previously, which reads that such opportunity is feasible. In the work of this gathering, there was a board that was selected, and the resolution in its first point read the following: the Macedonian Orthodox nation, through its delegate, will adopt decisions to renew the Ohrid Archbishopric as a Macedonian independent church that will not be subject to any other Orthodox church, and this resolution was unanimously accepted by the delegate of the board. However, after the nomination of the first government of the Republic of Macedonia, headed by Lazar Golishevsky, they all actually followed the politics of the center, which was back then in Belgrade. Belgrade thought of this resolution as being a hostile one, and thought it to be chauvinistic one. And in such an atmosphere, the March conference was initiated, and the third point of the agenda for organizing an Orthodox church, a paper by Stolko Davidov was submitted, entitled "The Right of the Macedonian People for Their Autocephalous Church." And he talked about being erroneous to talk about the resolution of 1945, emphasizing the right to an autocephalous church based on the Ohrid Archbishopry. And there were minutes that elaborate and give account of the debate, mainly talking about pros and cons of having an autocephalous church, that is pro and con for the resolution of 1945. And there was another resolution which was adopted under direct control of the authorities back then from all of the clerics, reading, we want to have self-management, people's archiereys, in order to resolve all clerical matters, far from the resolution in 1945. This differs from the 45 resolution, which envisaged the setting up of an autocephalous church. So this new resolution meant that they would have certain governance and management only as an autonomous status, that is to decide only for internal matters, but not of autocephalous. At the beginning of the 50s years, they tried multiple events to resolve this clerical issue, but due to the obstructions by the Serbian church, and at the end of March 59, Vikentie, along with the delegation of the Serbian church, along with Toplički Dositej, they visited Macedonia, and they were received by Lazar Kolishevsky, the president of the assembly back then, deciding that the Macedonian religious center, so the question about the church should not be delayed, emphasizing the fact that the clerics in Macedonia deviated from the autocephality requests, and that is how they managed to reach an agreement. So prolongation of resolution of this issue might bring certain doubts. For Kolishevsky, the resolution of the Macedonian church question was important in order to resolve the economic issues for the Macedonians who migrated in the US and other places in the world. At the end of the talks, the president of the Macedonian Assembly, the speaker, said that without any delays, we need to resolve this issue, otherwise we would take up a different approach. In addition to the promises, once they visited Macedonia in 1981, again, the election and nomination of episcopes for the Macedonian episcopic churches was delayed. And after the performed all preparations, the second meeting, and in the report, in addition to other things, it was emphasized about the negative attitude of the Serbian church was emphasized. Due to such attitude, it was suggested that in the end, for the Macedonian issue about the church to be resolved independently. That is, it was also accepted for the church, for the chief of the Serbian Orthodox Church to be the head of the Macedonian Orthodox Church, by the means of which the autocephalous status is almost abandoned. So the council adopted a decision for proclamation of the autocephality of the Macedonian Orthodox Church. At the gathering, this resolution was adopted that stated as follows: the Macedonian Orthodox Church, a descendant of the renewed Ohrid Archbishopry, is proclaimed to be autocephalous. At the head of the autocephalous Macedonian Orthodox Church will stand an archbishop with a title Archbishop of Ohrid and Macedonian Archbishop. The diocese of the autocephalous Macedonian Orthodox Church will overlap with the borders of the Macedonian national state, Socialist Republic of Macedonia. the Autocephalous Macedonian Orthodox Church, as a part of the unique Holy Apostolic Church, will accept and hold its holy acts and autocephalous churches, and will reject any other learning. Here, in the interest of time. Do you have any questions? Thank you. Since you are expert, can you church-wise, or in a language of the church, explain the issue, the problem between the Macedonian Orthodox Church and the Serbian Orthodox Church? There are various ideas through autonomy to regain the autocephality and so on, but because you are an expert here, can you explain it to us? Not a single church issue in the Eastern Orthodox and even in the West. The churches are more or less subjected to the state order, and it's not a clearly clerical or religious question, but it's more of a political question. I think that our question about the church is the least of clerical or canonical question, because there is no reason why Macedonian church wouldn't be an autocephalous. Finally, our head, 1951, was pronounced to be an episcop, and that was a political game. So he would be sent along with the Serbian episcopes, but that's a different thing altogether. Our archiereys, Clement and Naum, the 51st, have been proclaimed and entitled to bear the functions. So there is no clerical or canonic error. 62nd, the Russian Patriarch Archierei comes here and serves along with our priests. So initially the obstacle is political. And secondly, which should be primarily, is a national issue. The Bible says everyone and everything is Jesus Christ, so there is no Jews or Muslims or Catholics, but the Orthodox talks about the territorial organization of the churches in the 18th century. In the 19th, they grow into national churches, and the independent status of the Macedonian people comes later, and that is why this might be an obstacle because of the nationalities. And even after we resolve the name issue and all the other issues, there will be a long time after the church question comes into onto the agenda, since the church, starting from its beginnings, is a conservative structure. Autocephality will not be recognized immediately upon resolution of the name. I think that it will last for a bit.
With according to your paper, they said exchange of population according to religion done by Greece, Turkey, and so on. And secondly, your paper makes me think that this territory, before Apostle Paul, somebody lived by the name of population lived by the name of Macedonians. You know, right? Religions are like private feeling, intimate feeling, and I defend my dignity that I'm Macedonian with Islamic religion. Would you like just shortly? Oh, lately we are witnesses that it is said that Macedonian Orthodox Church has been put aside. It was put aside. It was forbidden to be religious, to practice religion, and so on. Just shortly, what is the role of the Communist Party? Because as we can see, it is after the Second World War, communists are in power. What is the role of the Communist Party in the formation of the Macedonian Orthodox Church, if there is any? If it has played any role? Because they say the communists didn't allow and so on. The role of the party, they were the only political force at that time, and we can divide their role in two parts. First period, in the middle of 50s, in one document, they thought that here church issue has to be solved. In a document of 1952, they say we shouldn't insist so much to episcopes to be chosen. I quote, because we can see that it's better without priests, end of quote. 1956, discussion of Crvenkovski says we have to solve this issue because the church question is part of the national question. They look at the church as an institution through which we will complete the constitution of a nationhood, statehood of the Macedonian people. So 1958, proclamation, renovation, revival of the Macedonian Church. Thank you.